Smiles, everybody, smiles! As we welcome you to Phillies Postgame Live, presented by Cure Auto Insurance. Mr. Ricky Bottalico, I'm Michael Barkan. In a moment, Ruben Amaro Jr. from the park. Ricky Bo, 11-10. We're going to look back at this game. We're not even going to know what the heck happened. We're going to see the Phillies won their third straight game.
I can't believe what I just saw. This game had it all. Horrible pitching on the side of the Marlins early. Horrible fundamentals on the side of the Marlins early. The Phillies hitting the ball all over the ballpark. 6 guys with a multi-hit game for the Phillies. That's the bonus you got in this one. And then horrible pitching at the end by Jordan Romano. This game was ridiculous. This is a game the Phillies should have walked away a long time ago, kicking their butts and walking out puffing your chest. Instead, you let this team back into it. It happened so quick. I'm beside myself a little bit.
Your head's all spun around.
It would have spun around if they would have lost this game. I would have lost my mind.
This is a team game, and unlike other sports, it's played individually, and you had a handful of guys, less than a handful, that failed to perform. Carlos Hernandez was one. He gave up 3 runs. Jordan Romano was another. He gave up 6 runs. You take away those 9 runs, it's a great win.
I love how, did you see the velocity on that pitch? 99, 100 miles an hour for Jordan. What do I always say? It means nothing. Where you place the ball is what matters. You throw it, go ahead. Keep throwing it right down the middle. See what happens. Throw a hanging breaking ball. Let's see what happens. What the heck? Home run. No big deal.
But you talk about the crooked numbers. The Phillies put those up 3 times out of 4 innings when they scored runs today. Let's go across the street for the crossover presented by Chapman Auto Stores. Here is the former Phillies bat boy, the former Phillies outfielder, the former Phillies general manager, Mr. Ruben Amaro Jr. How'd you know the score was going to be so high?
That was exciting, huh? It's hitting season, man. The balls, the wind's blowing out. There's some humidity in the air. The ball's going to be carrying. We didn't hit any home runs, but we scored a whole hell of a lot of runs.
So here's the thing. A win's a win, right? How do you look? If you're in that clubhouse right now, how are you looking at this game where they just barely got out of it with a win?
Well, there's a little disappointment in how Jordan Romano threw the ball. There's no question about that. But overall, a really good sign for the Phillies offensively. There's been a lot of talk about, when are these guys going to heat up? When are they going to start swinging the bats? Well, the last few days, they've been swinging the bats really well. It's nice to see that. And they continue to add on. They put together some great at-bats today. I think Ricky's right. I don't think this is the best pitching staff in all of baseball. But it doesn't matter. They're playing in Major League Baseball games, and they got to do their jobs. And, what did they have? 7 different guys had doubles today. That's amazing. Did not hit a home run and scored 11 runs. That's pretty impressive. And a bunch of guys had great days.
Ruben, should I be a little bit concerned about Taiwan Walker? Pulled after the 4th. Did not seem to have a really good he didn't have a good fastball today.
Yeah, a little bit concerned. I guess he threw okay, and he kept the team in the game, obviously, and the Phillies scored early and often and continue to score. A little concerned that he was out of the game. There's no question about that. We have not heard a report whether there's any type of injury or anything like that. The one thing I did notice while he was on the mound is just shaking out his arm a little bit. And I think a lot of pitchers do that. I think almost every pitcher does that from time to time. Not sure if that's alarming, but what was alarming that he was out of the game after, maybe 55 or 60 pitches or whatever it was. That was a little concerning, yeah.
Rube, if you're managing this team, are you letting Jordan Romano stay in there long enough to give up 6 runs? Should he have been pulled long before then?
It happened really quickly, and he's trying to get him some work. This is a guy that hasn't gotten it going yet, and I like the velocity. I know Ricky talked about it, that the velocity doesn't mean much, and it doesn't if you're not, if you're not locating your pitches. Here's my issue with Jordan Romano today is that this is a really free-swinging team with the Marlins. They're a very young group of guys, and they swing for the fences a lot. Doesn't matter what situation, whether it's 2 strikes or no strikes. And we really didn't change the eye level. It was like fastball up, breaking ball up, everything was sort of up. He only threw maybe 1 or 2 pitches at the most in the dirt. And I'd like to see guys change their eye level a little bit. And I didn't see that happen. And these guys are just, whacking away at it and having some success with them.
Ruben, with all this being said, I just got to ask you one question, because Michael and I were at the game for the first, 5 innings of the ball game. That Marlins team is fundamentally unsound. And I thought the Phillies should have walked away with this game more than anything else. And I'm almost a little disappointed that they only won by 1 run. But what do you take from this Marlins team right now? And should if you play them 13 times, should the Phillies not win 10 of these games?
Well, I mean, it's clear that the actual level of talent and the level of experience is very different between the Phillies and the Marlins. That doesn't mean that they can't win games. These guys they've got some power. They can hit a little bit if you allow them to. And so I think it's obviously a beatable team, and it's a team it's an organization that's in transition. And, I mean, they've got a long way to go. We don't know most of the names of these players. These are guys that all came from a different organization, and so I think all these guys are just trying to prove themselves as young players in the major leagues. Some of them not quite so young, 27 been around, 28 have been around, and more like what you would call those 4A players. But they're getting a chance to play in the major leagues, and they're putting up some numbers. I mean, it's just a matter of playing good, sound baseball against them, and it looks like they may beat themselves a little bit just because they're young and they're inexperienced, and I don't see the same fundamentals that you would expect from a higher level team.
Give us the score tomorrow, oh great one, with Jesus Luzardo on the mound and Connor Gillespie for Miami. What do you got?
I think Jesus Luzardo's gonna. I think he's gonna have a heck of a game. I know he's gonna be pitching against his old team, and he's gonna have a little extra zip on the fastball. I think having pitched against his old team and pitching here in CBP, because I know he likes to pitch here. So we'll see what happens against Connor Gillespie. But with the way these guys, the Phillies are swinging the bats, let's hope that they continue to do that.
Okay, there was a score.
I don't have a score.
What the heck? You gave a score on the radio this morning.
I only do that for Devin on the radio. That's it. That's it. That's how I do it. I hold the cards close, baby.
All right, let's close him out, Sean Kane.
Close.
Can we get rid of him, please?
Okay, Ruben, we'll check you tomorrow. Ruben Amaro Jr. joining us in the booth. There, or so we thought. Did not happen, but they win the game. Everybody hits today. 6 guys had multiple hits. Nick Castellanos struggled at the plate, but he did have an RBI with that sac fly, and that's a beautiful thing. Kepler, 2 for 5. Real Muto, 2 for 5. Bohm had 2 hits. Rojas, 3 for 5. 345 batting average.
See, that's a happy offense in the clubhouse right now, and there's probably a couple Phillies pitchers that aren't happy about anything. I mean, that's how it goes. I mean, Romano goes out there, he can't be thrilled with that outing because it was terrible. I mean, there's no other way around that. He went out there and he left the ball out over the middle of the plate. You can't do that. You got to be able to make your pitches, keep the ball down. As Ruben said, and Ruben's 100% right on this, throw the ball off the plate. Get these guys to chase. They're a team that is over-anxious and aggressive.
Yeah. All right,
it is what it is.
Let's go to the clubhouse and hear from Rob Thomson on this tight win that shouldn't have been.
You guys were going to cruise, and then Romano happened in the ninth. How surprising was that? How concerned are you with it?
Very, because I'm very surprised because the stuff was good. The velocity was up. Slider looked like it had good shape to it. So it's probably, I haven't looked at the tape. It's probably just execution, and we got to do a little deeper dive into, is he giving anything away?
Is anything going on with Taiwan? He was kind of...
Yeah. So because of the long innings, because our offense was clicking, his shoulder got a little stiff in between innings, but he grinded through 4. Didn't really fight me, but he was disappointed he couldn't finish because his pitch count was in good shape, getting outs. So we're going to treat him up and get him ready for his next start, which will be the first one in Chicago.
But you don't expect this to be anything that lingers beyond?
Not at this point, no.
How did you think he was doing before?
I thought it was good. The velocity was down a little bit, so that was an indication. And then, just talking to him, he was just trying to get everything loose, and just because of the long innings, it just, it was a precaution. I don't want to put him in jeopardy and his health, and so we got him out.
Were you tempted to go get Jordan earlier in that inning, or were you trying to just as hard as you can stay away from Jose.
Yeah, that was the biggest thing. I wanted to stay away from Jose as best I could, but it got to the point where we had to go.
Stott's been doing pretty good in the leadoff spot.
Yeah, we got a lot of production from the very top and the very bottom of the lineup today. In fact, everybody in the lineup got on base, so it was a great day offensively. And we did a lot of little things too. Stott moved a runner from second to third with nobody out. Harper did the same thing. Rojas bunted to move a runner up and ended up getting a base hit out of it. We went first to third. There was a lot of little things that we did to really play a really good offensive game.
Rojas has improved his play discipline this season, swinging a hot bat. Do you think the extra work that he got in the fall league and then carrying that into spring training has any factor into that?
You mean winter ball?
Winter ball,
yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the more games you play, the more reps you get, the more experience you get, it helps.
Overall, where are you with your bullpen right now, or what do you think they are?
Well, it's early. It's small sample size, but, the Joe Ross was really good today. Strom just keeps getting better with every outing. If Hernandez throws strikes, he's got good stuff. We got to figure out Romano. He's had some good games. He's had some rough games. Alvarado's been really good. Kirkeringer's been really good. So, there's a lot of good and a little bit of, we got to check into some things.
He earlier after his struggles, he kind of got out of those high leverage moments, Jordan, and then it seems like he kind of worked his way back in. Where do you kind of see him after today?
Well, okay, so you have to take into account he's thrown 10 pitches in 5 days going in today, so he's a little bit rusty, but the stuff was good. The velocity was good, so we got to look into some other things. But I have a lot of confidence in him. He's got a great track record. As long as the stuff is good, you got to believe in him.
Why do you think the velocity was up today?
Probably rest, But that's a double-edged sword, because if you get too much rest, your velocity's up, but maybe your execution, your command wavers. So you just got to stay with him. Thank you.
Taiwan Walker today, 4 innings pitched, an earned run allowed, 1 hit, 2 strikeouts, 3 walks, 56 pitches, and his ERA goes down just a tick, 2.29, and it had been 2.30 coming in. But here's the thing, Ricky Bo. We heard Rob Thomson say of Taiwan Walker that the inning had been long prior to him being pulled.
It was 2 innings in a row, is what it really came down to. But the first
inning
he
was down.
That we were sitting at the game, and I was watching the velocity. I looked at you. I said, "Did you notice it was velocity?" You were like, "No." I said, "It's down," and that's concerning. You don't want him to go back to where he was and revert back to last year. That's the one thing you're trying to stop. And I think it was probably a good move in that sense. Sometimes you get a tired arm. Sometimes you get a dead arm. Sometimes when you're sitting around, he didn't look comfortable when he went out for the 4th inning. He was kind of on the mound, getting a little fidgety, getting a little stretchy out there. Guys start stretching their arms and stuff. He didn't look right. He wasn't right in that inning. Let's hope it's not an injury. Let's hope he's fine.
We're going to hear from Taiwan Walker in just a few seconds when he says, Rob Thomson says, we're getting him ready for his next start, which would be at
That tells me they got him out of there early, so there's not a lot of wear and tear on the arm, and they give him that extra half day, or extra, couple hours, I guess it only turns into. But it's one of those things where let's not put any more wear on the arm. It's almost like he just threw a bullpen today, and then he'll get his normal rest, and he should be back to normal.
All right, here he is in the clubhouse, Taiwan Walker postgame.
It was starting to get a little tight. How much did you feel that kind of bothering you today?
Yeah, I just couldn't really get extended too much on the glove side, especially in that 4th inning with my cutter and forcing him into the lefties. Couldn't really get it there all the way, and then we had the other long inning, the next one. So kind of sucks because I felt like I was in a pretty good groove, getting a lot of ground balls. My splitter was working really well today, and just sucks too. And the bullpen having to cover for me.
Have you felt any of that coming into the game?
No, it felt good. Maybe a little sore, but nothing too crazy. And I felt like my stuff was pretty good, and just kept getting stiff. As innings went.
Do you think it's something you'll be able to knock out in time for your next start?
Yeah, especially with the extra day too. So just extra treatment, just real heavy on the treatment stuff, and maybe taper back on the bullpen this time around, and just try to get ready for the next one.
Has it been on or off, or?
I've honestly been feeling pretty good. I think it's my first time going around on turn, just regular 5 days. So that could be it. It's been a while since I've done that, so maybe that was it. But for the most part, I feel like my stuff still feels pretty good, and the action on my stuff is good.
When I talked to Caleb before the game, he mentioned last game there was times where he would have liked to see you go to the splitter more, and you mentioned it today. Is it something that you feel like is really working for you right now? Yeah,
I started throwing the cutter a lot more, and it's been pretty successful for myself. And the slider too. I've been trying to add the slider more, but today was a good day to throw the splitter a lot. They had a lot of lefties in there. I tried to mix it more with the righties too. I think I got a couple ground balls with the righties and the splitter. So it's still my best pitch. So I just got to keep throwing it more and know that if I get into any trouble, that's my go-to pitch.
He was 1 for 4 with a double, with a walk, with an RBI, with a run scored for Bryce Harper. That's why he's the stargazing guy today.
He was all that.
He was all that and more. How about one Vegas guy to another, Bryson Stott at his locker?
A lot of pitches, obviously. You're not swinging a lot of first pitches. I guess that just says that you're really comfortable, maybe falling behind, or just seeing pitches in these at bats. Are you feeling comfortable right now?
Yeah, I just try to see as many pitches as possible, whether it ends in a hit or not. Feel like that helps Trey and Bryce and Kyle coming up. So everybody, and just seeing as many as I can, and trying to hit the mistakes. So
you've been even doing it though, like even earlier in the season before you were hitting weight. Was that kind of a conscious decision or just random?
I felt like I got myself out quite a bit, so kind of selling out and it being away, and just kind of grounded out the second. So confident in just taking those ones away and waiting for the mistakes.
With a guy like Rojas hitting the way he did, how much does that help you guys with him being able to turn the lineup over?
Yeah, it's huge. He's fast, he flies around, and can score from first and do things like that. And just seeing him kind of have that day was awesome. And it's fun watching him run because he almost caught ball on that one. So that was fun.
Phillies bullpen today. The Strominator. Matt Strom, inning pitched, 2 hits, no earned runs. Carlos Hernandez, 3 earned runs. Joe Ross pitched well, according to his manager. Jordan Romano, ding, 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 ding.
14 hits good
That's
in
not,
5 innings?
Not too good. But
That's
I will say
good.
this. Our associate producer, Kobe Noon, says that Romano has never allowed more than 3 runs in an outing in his career. So this is double that. And he wants to change that real quick to be sure. This is his 9th appearance of the season. Here he is at his locker.
Yeah, I felt great out there. Actually, that's the best my arms felt in a long time. Go out there throwing strikes. Felt confident, honestly, in all my pitches. I don't know, they were seeing it really well today. That was, everything I threw in there, felt like they were pretty comfortable with. Obviously, putting pretty good swings on it, but yeah, again, not exactly sure. Obviously, like when I'm up in the count, need to make better pitches. 1-2, 0-2, but yeah, I still felt great out there. Just got crushed.
Did it seem to matter that it wasn't a high leverage situation or anything like that?
No, honestly, my mindset was great. Just going out there, ripping the ball in there, and yeah, again, the velo was good. So I don't think it was a situational thing. It was just one of those days for me.
Are you the type of person who'll go back and look at film and go, am I tipping something, or is there anything maybe there? Are you?
Yeah, when it's that bad, yeah, for sure. Usually, I don't. When it's just maybe a blooper or something like that. But when they're putting that good of swings on it, for sure. But you don't feel like today is something that's going to spot. You feel like you can leave today and feel confident the next time. You know what's honestly crazy to me? It's I went out there and I kind of executed what I wanted to do. It was just the worst result possible. I wanted to go out there. I wanted to drive the zone with my heater, throw the slider in there for strikes, and I did that. Just got crushed.
Thank you.
Honestly, no, not today. Kind of expect that when you're pitching like that for sure. But no, I stuck with my plan. felt like I was making okay pitches, but yeah, apparently not.
So are you going to look over the video a little stronger now? Or
Yeah, today for sure. Yeah, today that was, I mean, it's probably the worst side of my career, right? So, especially when they're putting that good of swings on stuff, I'm definitely going to dig a little deeper into what's going on.
To recap from Jordan Romano. Felt great out there, confident with my pitches. Not exactly sure what happened. When I'm up in the count, need to make better pitches. Will he go back and look at himself on video when it's that bad? Yeah, usually I don't, but when they're putting that good of swings on it, yes. And then the last one, executed what I wanted to do. It was just the worst result. And Ricky Bo, that's the one. If you're executing what you want to do and they're ripping you all over the park, that would seem to be a problem.
I'm going to go with that's a half-truth to me. Maybe you're throwing the right pitches. Maybe they're just in the wrong locations. He threw a slider that was dead middle, dead center. He threw a fastball right down the middle. What is that? Was that the plan? Apparently that was the plan.
Wanted to do
I
it.
mean, you threw a lefty a little bit up in the zone, but you left it a little bit on the plate, and he turned and hit it for a home run. So that's not a successful pitch. If that was where you were trying to throw it, you wanted to get that up a little bit more. I think bottom line is you should have just said, I need better location. That's it. Just move on from there. Don't get suckered into this because the press trying to make an excuse for him right there is not necessarily a good thing. I think that's one of those things where, oh, hey, are you tipping your pitches? Because we've heard, how many times have we heard that excuse? You know, it's not about that. Just go out there, execute your pitches, throw them in the spots.
Road ahead. We'll table Jordan Romano for now. Hopefully he can straighten it out. Man, he's better. Miami Marlins for the last time this series. Tomorrow, we open at 1 o'clock. 1 o'clock. Mets, Monday through Wednesday at Citi Field.
At Citi.
Then to Wrigley. Then the Nationals come in. Then Arizona comes in. That's your road ahead. Jesus Luzardo going against his former team. Pitched for the Marlins the previous 4 seasons, going back to 2021. He'll go against Connor Gillespie. What you thinking?
Gillespie gets lit up like a Christmas tree, and I think Luzardo deals. Yeah, I know it's his former team, but I don't think most of these guys were even around. I mean, when you think about it, you take a look at their lineup. I don't think a lot of them were here last year for sure.